Good morning everyone, today I'll be showing you how to make this soot sprite granny square inspired by the movie Spirited Away. So materials you'll need are a needle, a pair of scissors, and I'm using a 3.5 crochet hook that I got from Daiso. You'll also need a pair of safety eyes. I'm not sure which size these are, but if you do get them you'll also need the backings. And then for the stars I used blue and purple yarn, but you can use any color you'd like to make the little candies. You'll also need some pink yarn, white yarn, and black yarn. So to start off, you can make a magic circle. If you don't know how to do this, I've linked a couple of video tutorials below. After you're done with your circle, you're going to chain 3 and then insert 11 double crochets into the circle. Once you made 11 double crochets, tighten your magic circle and you're going to insert 1 slip stitch, not into the chain 2 stitch, but the first double crochet stitch. So just make sure you're doing that. And then make sure to count that you have 12 stitches. So then you're going to chain 3 and insert a double crochet into the same stitch where you made the chain 3. After this, you're going to add 2 double crochets to every stitch in the round until you have a total of 24 double crochets. When you're done, make sure you count to make sure that you didn't miss any stitches, and then you're going to insert a slip stitch into the first double crochet, just like we did for the previous round. After you insert your slip stitch, you're going to chain 3 and then put a double crochet into that same chain 3 stitch. Insert 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then in the next stitch you're going to insert 2 double crochets and repeat this pattern for the whole round. You should have a total of 36 double crochets. Once you reach the end of the round, we tie off the round same as before by inserting a slip stitch into the first double crochet. At this point you can go ahead and cut the black yarn because we're going to be switching colors. Now we're going to tie a slip knot into the pink yarn. You don't have to do this, it's just a personal preference of mine. Once you've gone ahead and attached your pink yarn, you can chain 3. For the pink and black ends, just leave those there. They'll get weaved in as we work through this round. Insert 1 double crochet into the stitch that we made the chain 3 on. Now you're going to chain 1 and insert 2 double crochets into the next stitch. This will be the beginning of our corner. Insert 2 half double crochets into the next 2 stitches, followed by 3 single crochets into the 3 following stitches. You should have a pattern that looks something like this. To finish off the row, put 2 half double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Going to make another corner by inserting 2 double crochets into the next stitch, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets into the following stitch. You should have a pattern that looks like this at the end of the row. You're going to repeat this row pattern 2 more times for both sides of the circle. Once you get to the end, you're going to insert a slip stitch into the first double crochet. For the final round, we're going to chain 3 and then insert a double crochet into the same chain 3 stitch. To make the corners of the square, we're going to be working in the chain 1 stitch from last round. So in the chain 1 space, you're going to insert 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets. Remember to keep all of these stitches in the chain 1 space. After you've made the corner, you're going to insert 11 double crochets across the side of the square. So you're going to repeat the corner pattern plus the 11 double crochets for all sides of the square. And once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. So in our last row, we're just going to continue with our 11 double crochets. So once you get to the last stitch, you can insert a slip stitch into the first double crochet. And that is the end of the base of our granny square. So you can just tie off this piece of yarn, and I'm gonna cut it off. So now I'm just weaving in this end piece. Usually if you're connecting the granny squares, the ends will get woven in when you sew them together, but I was just doing this so it has a more clean look. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and make the eyes. So the eyes are just two little circles, and you can attach them to the base of our granny square. We're gonna start off by making another magic circle and chain 3. Then we're going to insert 11 double crochets into the circle. Once you have your 11 double crochets, you're going to tighten your magic circle by pulling on the string, and then insert a slip stitch into the first double crochet. Then from this point we're done with the eye, so you can cut off the yarn. I'm actually leaving quite a big piece of yarn at the end so that we can use it to sew in the eye. So now I'm going to be attaching the white of the eyeball to the granny square using my safety eye. And this actually helps keep the white part in place as we sew it in. So I'm just going to be piercing the safety eye through the white part and then also through the black part of the granny square. And you can position the eyes any way you like. I sort of followed a reference photo of the soot sprites and put the pupil of the eye pretty close to the edge of the white part. After you've pierced it through the granny square, you can attach the backing, and your eye is now going to be held in place while you sew it in. And I'm just using that extra thread to sew the eyeball in. There's really no particular technique to attaching the eye, just make sure you get all of the edges down. And then once you've sewn the eyeball in, you can just repeat that again. The final step is to make the little candies that the soot sprites eat. So you can make these in any color. I decided to go for green, and in order to do this, you're going to make a magic circle and do 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 more double crochet, and then a single crochet. These are going to be the points of the star, so you want to repeat this pattern 5 times until you have all 5 points. Here I just did the first 2. And then now that I've done with the star, I'm going to pull the string of the magic circle in order to close it and insert a slip stitch into the first stitch of the star. Because I want to sew it in, I'm going to leave the tie-off string kind of long. And now we can attach it to our granny square. I'm going to put it at the bottom next to the purple star. And just threading my thread. Nothing too fancy with the stitches. To sew it in, I just make sure that every single point of the star is attached well. And once you're done with that, you can tie it off at the end, and your granny square is finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and let me know if you use these for any of your projects.